Hi everyone. It's a chilly autumn morning, almost wintry. There might be snow later on today. So today's story from Aesop's fable is the grasshopper and the ants. One day on a fine summer day, the grasshopper was lounging about in the field, playing music and just enjoying the sunshine. He was relaxing and really having a good time. After a time he got bored. He stood up, stretched his legs, and he leapt here and jumped there, and he came across an ant heap. And to his surprise, he saw an army of ants toiling and working really hard, sweating and carrying tidbits and all kinds of food into their ant hole, to their heap. So he actually stopped them and he asked the ants, "Hey guys, why are you working so hard, man? It's summertime. You should enjoy life. Just slow down and relax a bit, man." The ants looked at each other. Then they looked at the grasshopper in dismay and said, "First we work, then we play. We've got lots of work to do because summer isn't forever." The grasshopper thought these guys are so uncool, so he didn't even hang out with them a minute longer. He jumped away and he just enjoyed the summer, the sunshine, the warm weather, and he really had a good time. He made great music. He was an artist. But then autumn came and the leaves turned yellow, then brown, and they eventually covered the land. They covered the forest floor, the leaves. The winds were unfriendly and the sun wasn't as strong, the sun rays, it wasn't as warm. The grasshopper noticed all this, but he tried to ignore it and he just continued playing music and tried to enjoy life. However, things got worse because after autumn, summer came, and winter came, and everything was covered in snow, and it was freezing cold, and there was nothing to eat, nothing to be found in the field and in the forest. So the grasshopper was like desperate. He tried to ignore all this, but he couldn't any longer. Reality really struck him in the face, and in the legs. He was shaking, man. So in his desperation, what he could do, the only thing that came to his mind, the only good idea, was to visit the ants and knock on their door and ask for some help, ask for some food. And he did. He ignored all his ego, he put it aside, and he knocked on their door and said, "Hi ants, I'm really shaking and shivering, and could you give me can you spare me a morsel? Can you give me something to eat?" The ants looked at him without any emotion or without any empathy and said, "Well, you should have thought about that in the summer. Unfortunately, we can't help you. We worked hard for our food. We're not going to just give it to you. You don't deserve it. If you played music and relaxed in summer, why don't you do the same in winter?" With that, they shut the door and left him outside in the cold. The end. So please let me know in the comments what you learned from the story. What's the message? What's the wisdom from this fable? For me, it's something like young man idle, old man needy, or make provisions for the future, or there is a time for work and a time for play. Something like this. See you next time.